Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Basically what happened was about 4 hours ago I sat down and filmed a tutorial, or I tried to, with this palette, and I really struggled. You can see it in the video itself. You can see that I start getting frustrated. You can see that I'm really struggling with it, and I ended up calling it quits. I had no makeup on apart from really crappy eyeshadow, and I was like, I am done, and I pieced out on that video really quickly. Since then, it's only been 4 hours. I left, me and Jack edited the video, we put it up, and as soon as I put it up, I started watching other YouTube tutorials using the palette, and I started getting quite pissed off with myself because I gave in. I let the palette beat me, and I'm just not about that life. I'm a strong Scottish woman. It just was not for happening. So I uploaded that video, came here, and I've been sitting for a fair little while practicing with this palette, trying out different techniques, trying out different primers, trying out different methods, different colours as well. I managed to create this eye. So I asked you guys on Twitter, I said, do you want me to show you how I did it? And you said yes. So I show you how to do this eye. I actually really do like the look. It's been a long time since I've done this big winged out smoke, but I used to do it all the time. So I do think it is hot fire. I do really like it. It reminds me of my grungy days, my Illamasqua days, so I do absolutely love this eye makeup. It was not easy to create. I had to use a few techniques that I would never ever use using any other eyeshadow palettes, but it did seem to work for this palette. So I basically sat and troubleshooted, just worked out a way that this palette would work for me, and I'm going to show you how I did it. Basically, the reason that I wanted to do this was I felt really bad at the amount of people that have got this palette, and if you watch my last video, then I can totally see why you would be like, how am I going to use it? How am I even going to get a look out of it? So that's when I decided to sit down, try and figure out a way that it was going to work for me so I can show you guys, because my job is not to sit here and bash a product, it's to sit here and teach you how to do makeup. So I'm going to do that. If you want to see how I created this look, then please stay tuned. I managed to do this. Let's hope I can do it on the other eye. Let's just go ahead and do it. When I went away and edited and put up the first tutorial, I basically got really annoyed and I wanted to try it again. So I tried it with a few different steps. I ended up, I think I tried it maybe about 5 times. Different variations of primers and things like that. And I'm going to do what I've done on this eye because it seemed to work. Basically, I'm going to start with Lane Low Paint Pot again, and I'm just going to scoop it with my beauty blender and apply it all over my eye, and then underneath as well. And I'm bringing the primer right out because I ended up winging this shadow right out as well. I'm just going to powder that down with my Charlotte Tilbury powder again. So this is actually the same steps as last time. I just applied them in a different way, and I totally stayed away from the transition shades because it just did not work for me. So I'm gonna really powder that down. Subculture Part 2. This is what my palette looks like, and I've used it quite a few times. I don't actually think that the fallout's that bad. I didn't really talk about it in my last video either because I didn't really notice it to be bad. There is quite a fair amount in there, but whatever. So let me just remember how I did this. How did I do it again? The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the shade All Star, and I'm just going to pack it on in a V shape. And I'm not worried about it getting it down here because I used a wipe to clean up, and that seemed to work really well. So I'm just using a Zoeva 231 brush, and I'm just patting it on. And then I'm just going to use the side of my brush to drag that out a little bit. I just went in with my Smith 247 brush, which is also quite firm, and I'm just gonna go backwards and forwards and start to really wing that out. So this is really weird for me because I would never go in with a shade this dark by itself, but I just tried it out and it seemed to work a lot better. Now I'm going to go in with this Smith 232 brush. It's a bit fluffier, and the shade All Star again, and I'm just going to start really blending that out. So you can see that itself's blending not that bad, like, but never ever would I go in with a shade that dark first, but oh well, it seems to work. And I'm just going to pick up some of that shadow, and I'm going to make sure it's nice and pigmented down here. Now I'm going to swap in with my 224 Zoeva brush and the shade Rowdy, the really dark purple shade, and I'm just going to tap into that shade and I'm going to start packing that on in the crease. And then I'm going to swap over to my other brush when I need to and just blend those two shades together. I'm going to go under my eyes straight away because it's kind of throwing me off balance because it's so dark on top, so I'm just going to apply that underneath my eye. And then like here there's a little bit missing, so I'm just going to pack that on top again, just pushing it on this time. You see what I mean though, it's going on a lot better. I think packing it on is the best idea. Now, when I was doing the other eye, I then went into the shade New Wave, and I'm going to do that again, and I just really lightly use that along the top near the brow bone just to help blend it a little bit, just the tiniest little bit of it. Now I'm going to go in with the shade Rowdy again, they're really dark. I'm going to make sure it's really nice and pigmented. See here, it's just a little bit lighter. Oh, I don't know why. I'm going to go in with a more dense brush, the 247 from Smith, and really just try and pack that on. Okay, so it's looking quite messy, but that's okay, we can clean all that up. It's not looking bad. Now I'm going to go in with the shade Adorn on a brush. Not that brush. This is just a Luxe pencil brush, and I'm just going to apply that all over my lid. Right, I'm going to try this as the brush from the Naked Heat palette, and I'm going to use that now just to apply. Right, I'm going to have to wet it. I think I put it on first, then wet it, and then put more on top, so we're going to try that. And I'm just going to wet it using the All Nighter spray. That's better. And then I brought that right in to the inner corner. I'm just going to blend this back this way. I feel like it's gone a little bit funny. There we go. Now I'm just going to take a little bit more Rowdy and pack it on the outer corner. I'm going to take a little bit more All Star, the kind of warm purple tone. I don't think that's looking too bad. And now the wipe I used was the Tarte, what's it called again? It's these Fresh Eyes wipes from Tarte, because they're a little bit oily. I'm going to use that just with my nail, and I'm just going to try and clean this up to a nice clean line. Okay, I can see on this eye the gold's not as high, so I'm just going to fix that quickly. I'm going to try a firmer brush. This is the Zoeva 226 smudger brush. It's what I usually use for a cut crease. I'm going to try. Hey, that seems to be working. I really do think that's as good as I'm going to get. I'm really happy though that I've managed to get it looking pigmented and mostly blended. I'm just going to add some Roller Lash Mascara by Benefit and then some Farah lashes on top. Yeah, I actually do feel pretty happy with that. Not bad. Okay, so I need to clean up this eye a little bit more. It's just a little bit too low down. And then I think this eye's a little bit darker actually, so I'm going to just make that the same on this side. I am going to go and do the rest of my face and my brows and my lips, and then I'm going to be back and we're going to have another little chat, a little chatteroo, a little chatterina. Okay, okay. Oh, I did it! I managed to create a look with the Subculture palette. I'm going to make badges for us all so we can all wear them proudly. Say, I managed. I managed. I'm going to zoom you in and have a closer look. So this is the look that I've managed to create. I actually really like it. I'm really glad that I tried again, basically, with the colours. My final thoughts on the palette are still quite similar to my last video. The only reason that I basically have sat down and just created a look, I sat down and I just tried over and over again until I found something that worked for me. And this is it. Obviously, I could probably go ahead and do a few looks with the palette now, but for me, an eyeshadow palette that costs that much money, and also a brand that has already brought out an amazing eyeshadow palette that everybody loves, you shouldn't have to sit down. And I think I've been sitting down for about 3 hours since my first video that I've put out already that you guys have seen with me really struggling. I filmed that about 4.5 hours ago, and since then we went away, uploaded it, and I came back here and sat and practiced and really played with the palette until I found a way that I can make it work. I don't think that you should have to do that in this day and age. Everyone knows what a good eyeshadow is. These, I don't know, I feel really kind of funny about it now. Obviously I've managed to create a look that I do really like, so is the palette good? I don't know. Yeah, I guess so. But should I have had to sit here after being a makeup artist for this long and sit here for 3 hours to figure that out? No. It's a Sunday, right? I've been playing Harry Potter in the background because it's a Sunday. I should not be doing this. But I feel personally victimised by this palette. Hands up if you feel like you've been personally victimised by Subculture. Anyway, I am really happy with this look. I hope you guys like it. Yeah, I'm really happy I sat down and I just got it out my system because I was not about to be defeated by an eyeshadow palette, okay? I'm a stronger woman than that. I won. If you like this look, please do let me know down below. If you want me to try again with other colours, let me know. I don't know if I'll do it. I'm happy I did it. I like the look. I hope you guys did too. And other than that, I will see you in the next video. Love you. Bye.